So, I wrote a will. I wrote a will. Hi everyone, this is The Focused Spender, and today I'm going to be talking to you about my will. But first, if you're new to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe. My channel is all about getting out of debt, staying out of debt, organizing your personal finances, and increasing your net worth. So, I wrote a will. I wrote a will. And I want to tell you exactly why I wrote the will. First, to my knowledge, I am not sick. I don't have anything terminal. And as much as I would like to predict the future, I can't predict that I'm not going to walk out and get hit by a car, a bus, a train, anything like that. But I don't think that's going to happen. The reason why I wrote a will is because, one, I have assets. Two, I have a lot of loved ones. And three, I really want to make a decision on how my money is distributed if something does happen to me. Now, I really hope to be like my grandmother. She lived until she was 99 and about 3/4, literally 3 to 4 months before her 100th birthday. And I could just only pray to live as long as she did. The thing about my grandmother was that she was very wise with her money. I mean, extremely wise. She came to this country and she built a whole lot from literally nothing. And when she passed, she had a will. And she would always talk to us from when I was a little girl about, oh, well, you know, that's in the will. That's in the will. The house, what's going to happen with it? It's in the will. And so I wanted to be like her. But I was kind of nervous about this. A few years ago, actually quite a few years ago, I made a video and I put it up on YouTube, and it's actually still available. And I talked about my goals for that year. And one of my goals was to write a will. And I put it out and I was so excited, like, okay, I'm going to do this. I had no idea how I was going to do it, but I was like, I'm going to do it. But then one of my friends on Facebook made a comment and said, you don't need to do a will. In our state, you know, the state will just divide your assets to your, you know, your survivors. And I thought, okay, I guess I don't need a will. And I just dropped it. I dropped it and I never thought about it again. But then every so often, someone famous dies. Prince died without a will. Aretha Franklin died with $80 million, 4 children, 1 special needs child, and no will. And the internet went crazy. Absolutely crazy. And I really wanted to comment. I really wanted to put up something on Instagram and say, I can't believe she doesn't have a will. And then I thought, no, boo. You can't say that because you don't have one either. Sure, I don't have $80 million. I don't even have $8 million. But I have some money that I would like to have distributed properly. So I thought before I could ever comment on Aretha Franklin or anyone else ever again not having a written will, I need to take care of one for myself. So that same weekend, or within a week of her passing, I went on LegalZoom and I created my will. And I know some people don't like LegalZoom because they're like, it's too expensive, blah, blah, blah. It cost me $79. So I'm sure someone could have done it cheaper, but honestly, it cost me $79. So that's not expensive at all. So I wrote the will, and then it came in the mail. And then things got real. I looked at it and I was like, wait, that says the last will and testament. Oh my God, it made me so scared. So I was like, okay, this is fine. All I need to do is sign it. But when I looked at it, not only did I need to sign it, I needed to have 2 witnesses and I needed to have it notarized. And I'm like, who am I going to have sign this thing? Because the one thing they say is that you cannot have anyone that is in your will sign it. And I listed everybody. I was like, you get some money, you get some money. I'm basically Oprah. So I thought, okay, none of my cousins, none of my siblings, no one can sign this for me. Now I have to find 2 people to sign it. Who am I even going to ask? And I just stopped. I was so paralyzed with fear that I just did nothing. And I just let it sit. I let it sit on my shelf. So at some point late last year, Susie Orman was at the Apollo and I went, and she reviewed her book, Woman and Money, and I actually have a review of that book and I'm going to leave it in the comments below. But she was basically talking to women saying you really need to get your money life in order. You need to have a will, and not only do you need to have a will, you need to have a revocable trust. That's on the to-do list. And so after that point, I actually felt comfortable telling my girlfriends that I had written my will because we were all there together. And so I told them, hey guys, I actually created this will a long time ago, but I actually need one of you guys to sign it. And I also need to get it notarized. And I just left that. I told them, and then I never thought about it again. Then fast forward to January of 2019, I still have this will sitting on my bookshelf, not having been signed. And I met with my accountability group, aka my girlfriends, and we were talking about our goals for the first quarter of the year, and I brought up the will again to them, and we all decided, like, we're all going to do our wills, we're all going to do our revocable trust, we're just going to get our lives together. And I just told them, okay, my goal is literally just to get mine signed and notarized. And one of my friends, she actually has hers done, and she said, go to UPS. They'll just notarize it, and they'll have witnesses there. So I was like, okay. But then I have another goals group, and one of the women in that group is a notary. And so I brought it to that group. I had 2 ladies sign, and I had the other lady notarize it. So finally, after who knows how many months of having this will literally just sit on my bookshelf, I now have it notarized. And I'm here to say, if you don't have a will, I don't know what you're waiting for. You do not need to wait till you're sick. You do not need to wait until you're old. You don't need to wait for anything. If you have anything that you want to pass down to someone and you know exactly how you want to split, actually, you don't even have to know the exacts, but you just need to know that you have something to pass on. You need to get it together. Like, we always talk about generational wealth. And so we're all trying to build wealth so that hopefully we can break the cycle of poverty and we can pass things down to our loved ones. But if you're not writing down exactly how you want your assets distributed when you pass away, you're part of the problem. So if you do nothing else this year, get that together. If you follow none of my other advice, forget the budget, forget the cash flow. If you don't have something written down that says exactly how you want your money to go when you go, I don't know what to tell you. And that's all. That's all I have for you. If you like this video, be sure to click thumbs up, share with your friends, write a comment below, and you can also find me on social media at Focus Spender on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Thanks. Bye-bye.